The Eagles just made another roster move that might indicate the status of their starting left tackle for Thursday night's blockbuster matchup versus Jaden Daniels. Oh, and Jahan Dotson, he might be ready to break out versus former team, and Vic Fangio, he hasn't given up faith in Bryce Huff just yet. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. We're less than a day away from the Eagles versus Commanders on Thursday Night Football, and the hype around this NFC East matchup that might decide the actual division is reaching an all-time high. And with the game being tomorrow, go ahead and drop your predictions for Jaden Daniels' stats, that's passing yards, touchdowns, and interceptions, for your chance to win a Thomas Mott Show t-shirt. Do it in the comments section. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see if anyone nails that this week. Now, the news we're all waiting on this week is the possible return of left tackle Jordan Mailata, who has missed the last 4 weeks due to his current hamstring injury. Now, Mailata yesterday was a full participant in a simulated practice, which basically means that they didn't actually practice, small little walkthrough, but if they would have gone 100%, then technically Mailata would have been out there. Although the real indicator in Mailata's return is the releasing of Jack Stoll yesterday to free up a possible roster spot, which the Eagles need in order to go ahead and promote Jordan Mailata back to the active spot. So you see where we're going here, right? The free roster spot, Mailata practicing, it all makes sense that he will return Thursday night and play a pivotal role in slowing down a very good Commander pass rush. Although when asked yesterday by the media, he's still playing it a little close to the vest.
Feeling good. Just trusting in the daily, targets that I'm setting every day, just to try and prepare for this game. So it's been a long time since I've been on the field. It feels like it has been, but I'm pretty excited.
It seems pretty obvious, but you're playing Thursday?
We're not too sure yet. Not too sure. We're just taking it day by day so far.
What do you need to find out before you know you're ready?
Ton more reps, knock the rust off, Got to feel confident in stepping on that field. So, again, I trust in the trainers and the program that they've set up for me and in order to get back for this game. So every day we're just ticking off boxes just to get on the field.
Having Jordan back should really help with pass protection. Like Fred Johnson, he's done a solid job. Hats off to him. But for the most part, whenever teams were able to actually get pressure on Jalen, it's almost exclusively come from the left side of the line. Now, Philly's full injury report yesterday did show Smitty, Dean, Slay, and Goddard as simulated DNPs, but they're all expected to play. It's mainly precautionary, and the Eagles should be as healthy as possible for Thursday Night Football. Now, in case you haven't heard yet, myself and Josh Davis will be at Thursday Night Football for Eagles versus Commanders. Let us know which tailgate we should hit up. If you have a tailgate going on, comment down below where it's at, and we might go ahead and show up. For the actual game, we're going to be in the presidential suite. Pretty excited to go ahead and experience that. But if you see us walking around, come say hi. We'd love to meet as many of you guys as possible. Now, as for Washington, they're going to get back running back Brian Robinson after missing 2 games with an injury, although newly acquired cornerback Marshawn Lattimore not expected to play, giving Devontae Smith and, of course, A.J. Brown an added boost versus a secondary that was shredded last week by Russell Wilson and George Pickens. Now, the Commanders' secondary, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but they're recently much better than they were the past couple of weeks, than especially at the start of the season, mainly due to some pretty bad quarterbacks they face over the course of this latter half of the year, which, yes, does include Jahan Dotson, who will face his former team that traded him away late in the offseason, and honestly, the past few weeks, he's made some pretty critical catches, but he's not trying to put any additional pressure on tomorrow's game when facing his former team.
No, I wouldn't say so. Kind of trying to treat it like a normal week, short week, but, the main thing's the main thing. That's come out on top and get a W.
Now, he might not have added pressure, but I really hope Jahan Dotson absolutely balls out versus his former team. Here's to Jalen Hurts and Kellen Moore scheming him up just a little bit to get him going and maybe give him more than 2 catches a game Thursday night.
Obviously we all would love every guy to get a whole bunch of catches every game because we think the world of all these guys, and for him to hang in there and then make 2 big-time catches each one the last 2 weeks, I think owes to his consistency and his willingness to keep putting in the work and Jalen's trust and letting it go, and we'll continue to have those opportunities for him.
I'm also keeping my eye on Bryce Huff tomorrow, who technically only played 10 pass rush snaps versus the Cowboys, but man, they were very efficient. Like, look at the numbers here on just 10 snaps. Now, there's obviously been a lot made about rookie Jalix Hunt taking over all the reps away from Bryce Huff the past few weeks, but defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, he explained yesterday that Huff is still hurt, hence the reduced snaps.
Bryce, he's got a big cast on his hand, leaves his thumb totally immobilized, and he's got his palm is immobilized. So he's just got 4 fingers dangling there with no thumb or palm to help him. So, on the less obvious downs, just makes sense to put a guy in there that's 100%.
Still, the main focus is obviously slowing down Jaden Daniels, who technically has been fantastic this year, except for last week. His performance versus that Steelers defense is probably his worst of the season. Pittsburgh played a ton of man coverage, single high safety, and relied on 5-man fronts to not only contain Daniels, but hold him to a season-low 5 rushing yards on just 3 carries. BG obviously knows that the defensive line is going to be the main factor in slowing down Daniels, and sounds pretty excited for the challenge that is this Commanders offense.
Well, I think that Jaden Daniels legit. I mean, I've seen enough tape already, but he got a good arm, he's fast, got a good team around him, man. So I just feel like for him, it's just about leading for him, and we got to go out there and we got to try to dethrone him. Well, it's a divisional game, like you say. We got to have it, and so how we show that is what we do today, what we did yesterday, and making sure that building up to this game that we execute and try to treat it like, hey, they're going to have to match our intensity because we coming, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you got to kind of go because it's an energy game.
And likewise, Jaden Daniels gave a ton of respect to an Eagle defensive line that I think is still grossly underrated. Not a ton of sacks last week versus Dallas, but man, they were flying all over the field.
I mean, very good front, very young. Or I wouldn't say very young, but they're younger guys. You got Jalen Carter and those type of guys that are very athletic, can get out there, the passer can stop and run, so it's going to be a good challenge for us.
Now, Jaden Daniels' number 1 target is Terry McLaurin. He's been absolutely incredible this season, and honestly, the matchup of Quinion Mitchell versus Terry McLaurin might be the premier matchup of the night. Something has to give, as McLaurin has been targeted 30 times in the last 5 games, whereas Q has only been thrown at 19 times in the same span. Scary Terry lines up almost exclusively on the left side of the Commander offense, which is where, obviously, Quinion exclusively stays in Philadelphia. So, unlike previous receivers who have tried to kind of work the opposite side of Q most of the game, McLaurin and the Eagles rookie should see each other the bulk of the plays tomorrow night. Personally, my money's on Q, but I might be a little biased.
Yeah, he's a good receiver, good veteran guy, get open, really explosive. So, the approach is still going to be the same, watch film, just prepare well.
What kind of stands out most when you're watching him?
Yeah, just a deep ball, just how he get behind the defense and make explosive plays. So, like I say, he's a good veteran receiver, and we'll have a task this Thursday.
Now, I know it's not just Q, but the entire Eagles secondary that needs to be on point versus McLaurin in this offense. But last week, for example, might be the best overall performance the Eagles group has had, as Fran Duffy pointed out during his film breakdown yesterday.
This back seven has been so good at forcing checkdowns, preventing explosives, especially over the last month. They have really not allowed much of anything down the field. And really it comes down to just being assignment aware. I mean, they've been really sticky in man-to-man coverage, but in zone coverage as well, all the different pass-offs. Here, you see Dallas is going to run an under-center play-action shot. It's a deep dagger concept where basically you're going to run the cross-country route from CeeDee Lamb. He's running across the field on a deep through route. You get the vertical route from the number 2 receiver and the deep dig from the motion man who late in the pre-snap phase motions out to number 1. So that forces late communication and assignment exchange from the secondary. But the DBs are all over this. First, you've got 2 sets of eyeballs on CeeDee Lamb on the through route. You've got Reed Blankenship and Darius Slay. They've both got eyes on Lamb on that through route. So that's taken away from Cooper Rush. Really, the next read for him is going to be the deep dig from Quinion Mitchell. Mitchell is locked onto this one-on-one. He does a great job speed turning out, and he's there to take that throw away if that's where that ball ends up going. He's going to impact that catch point. And then you've got Cooper DeJean, who does a great job playing to his help inside on that vertical route, and then when that route breaks to the outside on the deep corner, he's there with C.J. Gardner-Johnson over top. The ball's already out by that point because Cooper Rush sees that he's got nothing that he's going to be able to access down the field, so this becomes a check down to the flat, and that's where both linebackers are able to rally and tackle. You see Nakobe Dean is right there to make a violent stop. Zach Bond right there behind him. This is just a consistent theme for this defense. It happens every single week.
I'm pretty confident in the Birds offense moving the football against the Commander defense. Like, yes, they're a very good defense, a great defensive line, but this secondary versus the Eagle receivers, personally, I think shouldn't be that close. The real question, right, is obviously going to be Jaden Daniels versus the Bird defense, though, right? This defense has been incredible since the bye week. Vic Fangio has turned him into really a top 3, top 5 overall defense, but Jaden Daniels is a completely different animal, and if they can just slow him down a little bit, it could be a long night for the Washington Commanders. Now, obviously, I'm traveling right now, heading to the game tomorrow, hitting the tailgates early. Again, let me know where we should go down below in the comment section. If you see us come by, say hi. I'll be in a Devontae Smith jersey. Would love to meet as many of you guys as possible. Again, I'm pumped for this matchup. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been The Thomas Mott Show.